Name's Echo! Teamwork is strength! Get to work! Pyroclastic Surge! Incinerate!
Perfect. It's you two. I have a commission here that has your names written all over it. In fact, I'd even go so far as to say you're the only ones for the job.
The only ones for the job? Huh. If our help is really that important, it's probably some Archon-class commission, right?
The Adventurers Guild doesn't employ that kind of classification system. In fact, this commission is also probably not nearly as intimidating as what you're expecting. All it asks us to do is to find a missing person.
Huh? Then why did you say we were the only ones for the job?
I came across this commission while reviewing our backlog not too long ago. It seems simple, but our records indicate that over a dozen successive efforts to complete it have all ended in failure, despite attempts by several accomplished and renowned adventurers. With the reputation of the Adventurers Guild and the performance of the Sumeru branch at stake, it's in our best interest to assign this commission to the adventurer with the highest completion rate over the past few years.
Well, that's us for sure!
All I'm asking is for you to give it your best shot. If it proves to be beyond your capabilities as well, I'll talk to the commissioner about canceling the commission.
Okay, so who are we looking for? And what is it about this commission that's made it so hard to complete?
This commission was jointly issued by the residents of Vimara Village. They say one of their own villagers has gone missing. But the problem is, they don't know the missing person's name. They can only provide information about his general appearance.
They're all from the same village, but they don't even know his name? If so many adventurers have failed to complete this commission, maybe this missing villager doesn't exist at all. Could it be some sort of a prank or something?
Unlikely. Several villagers came by to issue the commission, and judging by their appearance and tone of voice, they seemed incredibly sincere. It certainly didn't seem like a joke to them. Besides, putting up a commission requires a processing fee. There aren't many upsides to a prank that costs Mora to carry out. In any case, it would probably be best to go to Vimara Village and ask around first. The Adventurers Guild does have some information on hand, but I would say anything you can learn directly from the villagers would be far more reliable. The best way to avoid misdirection is to go to the source.
Alright then, let's go! I'm starting to get really curious about this whole thing.
Ad Astra Abyssosk.
We made it to Vimara Village! Why don't we talk to some of the villagers to learn a little bit more about the missing guy? If this commission is really as challenging as Catherine made it out to be, we're gonna need to carry out a very detailed investigation.
Hello there. You looking to buy something? I do business in this area.
Oh, no, we're adventurers. Catherine sent us to look into a commission here in Vimara Village.
Ah, so you're here about that, then. You're not the first, that's for sure. We've certainly made a lot of trouble for you all. To be honest, we aren't holding out much hope. Many adventurers have made their way out here, confident they'd be able to help us, only to leave soon after with nothing to show for their efforts. We've pretty much had it up to here in questions, and the area around the village has practically been overturned in search of clues. But no one has been able to make any headway.
So, this person we're looking for, what's his name? Where did he live? Does he have any relatives?
I don't know. I really have no clue. I couldn't tell you.
Okay, guess you are really sick of answering questions.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to sound short with you. I was actually just giving you my answer to your questions. I know it may seem like we don't have anything to offer by way of information, but I promise you, we all have a very strong impression of him. When you live in the same village as someone, you develop a lot of memories together, you know? We just don't know the specifics. Maybe we did at one point, but that information is long gone by now. At least that's what everyone in the village seems to think. We've all exchanged what we know, and that was the only logical conclusion.
Alright, specifics aside then, what kind of person was he?
Young guy, in his early 20s probably. Incredibly kind sort of person, always willing to lend a helping hand. I'd chat with him when I didn't have any customers. I even saw him stick out his neck for others on more than one occasion. Very interesting guy, that one.
Now that you've started talking about him, you don't seem nearly as down in the dumps as you did before. Seems like he left a pretty good impression on you.
But of course, everyone in the village is pretty fond of him. We wouldn't have issued that commission otherwise. There aren't many young people like him nowadays, so genuine and pure. To think that he just up and disappeared one day. I just hope nothing bad happened.
Could he have just moved away without telling anyone?
No, he's not the type to leave without saying goodbye. And anyway, moving away without being seen by a single person in the village? There's no way he would have been able to manage that.
Huh. All right, thanks for the information. We're gonna go ask around some more.
I really hope he's okay. Please, we're counting on you to find him.
It's that guests I hear.
Hi, Grandpa Amadea. We're here to help you look for the guy that's gone missing.
Ah, so that's what brings you to these parts. Coming all this way for our sake. That's so very kind of you. With your help, I trust that young man's case is in good hands.
Could you tell us a bit about him?
Of course. I'm happy to help any way I can. With my failing eyesight, I'm afraid I can't offer much about his appearance. But I do remember hearing the sound of his voice. Not recently, of course. That loss has left me feeling quite empty. I don't think his parents are still living in the village. But somehow he never seemed lonely. In fact, he was usually the one offering companionship to others. He would often take time to visit the elderly or play with the orphans in the village. And whenever someone had something on their mind, he was there to listen with open ears. He always knew just what to say. As the village chief, I owe him many thanks. Helping villagers navigate difficult moments in their lives should have been one of my responsibilities. But he was often the one rising to the occasion.
Wow. He seems like such a nice and gentle person. No wonder his disappearance affected you all so much. But, you wouldn't happen to know any details about his name, address, or family situation, right?
I'm ashamed to admit it, but I just can't remember. No matter how you look at it, I should know those things. But for some reason, no matter how hard I try to remember, the information just doesn't come. Perhaps my age really has caught up with me this time.
It's okay. There's no need to force yourself to try and remember. We'll figure something out. Well, Traveler, what do you think? Paimon thinks so too. Like, the name thing. It's so weird that no one remembers his name. And nobody has been able to tell us anything about his family or where he lived. It's like this guy's been erased from reality or something. Wait, so you're saying it's not that he's been erased, necessarily, but more like he never existed to begin with? Okay, Paimon's gonna need some time to process that one. Someone who only exists in people's memories?
You two are the adventurers who just arrived, right? You're here for the Vamara Village Commission?
Yep, sure are. We were just looking into the case.
I'm so glad to hear that. Thank goodness you haven't given up. I've been so worried the Adventurers Guild might cancel our commission. My name is Atosa, by the way. I grew up here in Vamara Village. Anyway, I just wanted to say, please keep searching for a missing villager. I'm begging you. You have to find him.
Yeah, no need to worry. We'll give it our best shot. So, were you close to the missing villager? Are there any leads you can give us?
I'm not sure this counts as a lead, but follow me. There's a place I'd like to show you.
Is this the place? Under this tree?
Yep. I know it doesn't look like much, but this place is very meaningful to me. It's so full of memories. We used to always sit together under this tree and talk. Sometimes we would look up at the clouds in the sky, or stop to feel the wind against our skin. We could sit there for hours at a time, never realizing how long it had been. I was actually adopted by the people of Vamara Village. The forest rangers found me in the woods as a child. I was surrounded by such good people, and growing up in the village was so lively. Still, there were times when I couldn't help but feel incredibly alone.
Alone?
How should I put it? When something's bothering you, or when you have good news to share, you always want to talk about it with somebody. But for the longest time, I didn't know who I could talk to, or if I should say anything at all. Everyone has their own problems to deal with. Even if I might want to confide in others, I don't want to become a burden. Really? You know exactly how I feel?
Aww.
Wow, that sounds really nice. You're quite lucky. When it comes to our missing villager, well, I guess you could say that to me. He felt like both a family member I could rely on and a friend who could really understand me. No matter what came my way, I knew I could always talk to him. He was so thoughtful and pure, and patient, too. Whenever I talked to him, he would always seem so interested, as if the things I was describing were just as important to him as they were to me. Ever since he disappeared, there's been so much I wanted to tell him. No, none of those things matters now. I just really want to see him again.
Wow, you two must have been really close. Did he ever tell you anything about himself?
He mostly just talked about interesting things he saw around the village. He'd share a lot of his own wild ideas as well. Oh, right! I did ask him about his parents once. But all he said was, they're not here anymore. I didn't know whether that meant they had left the village or passed away, and I didn't want to pry.
Still not much to go off of.
Look at me. Talking your ear off and still nothing to show for it. I'm sorry I wasn't more help. The last time I talked this much in one go was when we were still together. Come to think of it, every time we talked, it always seemed to be around dusk, just like right now. Time always passed by really slowly. Even when it felt like we'd been talking for hours, the sun would still be at the same position in the sky.
Well, time always seems to pass slower when you're relaxed, right? What's wrong, Traveler? Hey, look at those hilly trails over there. Doesn't it seem like they're acting a little strange? The Abyss Order. Could they be the ones behind all of this? Uh-oh, we've been spotted! Quick, get ready to fight!
Bring it! Rise with the sun!
Lolene, East Papa, get him!
Hear the echoes? you! Time to... Let the mountain's veins boil! Yeah! Rise with the sun!
Thank you so much. I wasn't expecting monsters to show up. If you hadn't been here, I'm not sure what I would have done.
It was no trouble.
Now that I think about it, the hilly trolls around Vimara village have been a lot more active lately. They seem agitated and would often attack anything in sight. Chief Amadea doesn't allow the children to play in the area around the village anymore.
Maybe the Abyss Order really is involved. Well, we should head back and check out the situation in Vimara village just in case. If the Abyss Order is plotting something, that could spell trouble for the villagers. Wait a second. That person... It's Dainsleif!
Ah, it's you two.
Oh, a friend of yours? Well, I'll leave you all to it then. I should head back to the village and check up on Chief Amadea and the others anyway. Well, see you later.
Yep, see you later, Atosa! Why do you always have to pop up out of nowhere like that? Is it your life's mission to jump scare us or something?
It's hardly personal, or intentional for that matter. As long as you and I are both in pursuit of the Abyss Order, we're bound to cross paths.
Ah, so you're here to investigate the Abyss Order then. That would explain the monsters you were fighting just now.
Naturally. Hold on. Are you not here for the same purpose? No matter. It may have taken you a while to catch on, but I'm sure you've also realized by now that there's something strange about this place. The Abyss Order is most certainly planning something in this area. Or worse, their plan could already be in motion.
So you think the Abyss Order is behind the hilly trail activity in the area?
As things stand, I highly doubt that is their primary motive. I would imagine the increased hilly trail activity is merely a byproduct of whatever it is they're really trying to accomplish.
Still, the hilly trail activity is causing a lot of problems for the people here. We should stick around for a while and protect the village, don't you think?
The best way to protect them is by figuring out what the Abyss Order is truly planning. That is how we prevent further tragedy. And you shall have them. I never intended to hide anything from you. Don't worry. There should be ample time to talk. Ah, so that was the commission that brought you here to Vimara village. Someone who seems to only exist in people's memories. That is indeed quite intriguing. I would agree that it's unlikely you have a simple missing persons case on your hands. However, any possible connection to the Abyss Order is still unclear. It appears all we have by way of clues is increased hilly trail activity, and that is certainly not much to go off of.
Right! That mysterious voice she heard in her brother's memory. The one who called himself a sinner. Who is he?
Traveler, let me ask you this. Do you believe your sibling to have betrayed you? I sense hesitation in your words. After all, you still haven't figured out the whole truth of what happened. there's still hope for the two of you to reconcile. Irreparable damage has not yet been done. The sinner you wish to know about, his situation is different. He and his fellow sinners have long betrayed me, and long betrayed their nation. His name is Vedrfolnir, the Visionary. I'm loath to admit it, but he is also my kin, my older brother.
Your brother?
There were 5 of them, the 5 sinners of Khaenri'ah. The wise Roptatyr, the visionary Vedrfolnir, Gold Rhindaughter, the foul Sertologi, and Rehir of Solnari, Rerir. No matter how eroded my memory may become, I will never forget their names. One day, I shall have my vengeance.
Wait, some of those names sound really familiar. Rhindaughter is the one who created Albedo. Sertologi is Skirk's master. And the one we just learned about, Dane's brother, Vedrfolnir. If he was the voice of the sinner, then the one who inspired Clothar to create the Abyss Order was him.
They were once people of great esteem in Khaenri'ah, those who carried the hopes of the nation. They were the best of their peers, outstanding in their respective fields. 6 of us, together. We should have been the ones to prevent the disaster, the ones to stop the Vinster King from continuing to rock the foundation of the world. Yet, deep within, the 5 of them craved something more. They could not resist the call of the Abyss, and divided among themselves a power that could destroy the world. So they became sinners, but also transcendent beings, each in possession of world-shattering power. And when the cataclysm occurred, not one of them stood up in defense of their nation. Not one came forward to prevent the tragedy, and for that, they shall never have my forgiveness. Indeed, if they are not stopped, the day is sure to come when they will also betray the entire world. Of course, as I said, I never intended to hide anything from you.
So, Dane, what have you been looking into all this time?
I've continued to investigate the questions surrounding the Loom of Fate. It's been quite some time since the initial operation was launched. By retrieving the eye of the first field tiller, we were able to stop part of their plan from coming to fruition.
Oh, Paimon remembers! Weren't they going to use it to corrupt Osial and make a god or something?
Indeed. However, it's obvious that was just some sort of technical experiment. The eye was integral to their plan, yet somehow, despite failing to obtain it, they've skipped the experimental phase and found some other way to keep moving forward. There are many signs pointing to that effect.
Then what should we do? It's not too late, is it?
Our most pressing concern is to determine the purpose of the Loom of Fate. From there, we'll be able to deduce the Abyss Order's true objective. Based on the intel I've gathered so far, I suspect the Loom of Fate is related to the ley lines in some way.
The ley lines?
Traveler, you were able to observe your siblings' memories last time, yes? I believe that was due to the fact that the ley lines in that area were unstable. My recent investigation has shown that Abyss Order activity in a particular area is usually followed by a series of issues with the ley lines.
Wait, then our commission here in Vimara Village, the person who seems to exist only in people's memories, could it be connected?
It's certainly possible. I'll join your investigation tomorrow. This missing persons case could very well turn out to be the key to unraveling these mysteries.
Well, if we're teaming up with Dane again, we're gonna need all the energy we can get. Let's try investigating somewhere a little further away tomorrow. So tired. Paimon used way too much brain juice yesterday. It's all Dane's fault saying all that complicated stuff. Well, let's go find Dane. We've got a lot to do today. Dane? Hello, Dane? Why are you just zoning out over here? Did something happen?
The missing person from your commission. Could you describe them to me?
Oh, young guy? Early 20s? Seriously, Dane, what's going on?
There appear to be certain memories in my mind that weren't there before. Memories of him.
Maybe we just talked too much about him yesterday and you had a weird dream or something?
No, it wasn't a dream. They're memories. Memories that suddenly appeared in my mind after I woke up. And I'm certain I've never met this person before. I remember handing him the eye of the first field tiller.
What? Okay, so this missing person definitely has something to do with the Abyss Order then!
Indeed. And it appears he possesses the ability to implant memories into the minds of others.
Wait then. All the memories the villagers have of him, could they be fake too? Maybe they never knew him at all. But why would he do something like that?
Whatever the Abyss Order is planning, an important truth has been revealed to us this morning.
What sort of truth?
That their goal is still to obtain the eye of the first field tiller. They haven't stopped searching for it. I am the only person who knows its location. Perhaps implanting that particular memory was an attempt to interfere with my mind in some way. Your concerns are not entirely unfounded. I don't believe the Abyss Order is capable of altering reality like that just yet. However, considering their single-minded pursuit of the eye, I would say an equal level of caution is in order on our part. Come with me. We must check whether the eye is still in our possession.
Oh, so you're going to take us to where you hid it?
Of course.
Light it up! Try and stop me!
So you hid it way out here? Not an easy place to discover, that's for sure. Well, let's go check to see if it's safe.
Traveler, wait. We've no time to lose. Let's head inside.
Hey, wait up!
appears the mechanisms here have changed over time. You can access the upper floor through the side door. Perhaps you should try reactivating the mechanism over there.
it down!
Fulfill our pact!
Pyroclastic surge! Incinerate!
Make sure all the runes are pointing in the direction indicated by the light. That should unlock the mechanism. Ah, the door's open. Let's go. Our destination is just up ahead.
Looks like we can't go any further.
Be on your guard. I sense the presence of the Abyss.
It's the Abyss Order! They're here!
Rise with us to brilliance!
Hear the echoes of the valley!
Teamwork is strength! Wrath from the sky!
I see dominion!
Incinerate! Try and stop! Get to work! Light of the blazing sun!
Just as I suspected. The false memories were a trap. The Abyss Order just wanted to follow us here. Now that they're in the vicinity, we should have a chance to see.
Dane? What's wrong?
Can you feel that? There's been a disturbance in the ley lines. It must be the work of the Abyss.
Wow, you must be really sensitive to that sort of thing. Paimon doesn't feel it.
You too. Do as I say. Use that mechanism over there and leave this place. The Abyss Order is putting something in motion. If you return to Vimara Village, I suspect you might finally have the opportunity to locate the missing villager. Just think of it as a way to divide and conquer. I knew going along with your trap would be the only way to meet with you face to face.
You risked your safety, and that of the Eye. That's quite the gamble, Dainsleif. But I believe that I am the one walking into a trap laid by the Twilight Sword.
So you came here all on your own? What about those followers of yours?
When the Twilight Sword is prepared for battle, any army I could send would only be marching to their doom. Better that I face you alone. I know you must have a lot to say, but if it's a conversation you want, you'll have to defeat me first.
The Abyss Order's on the move. The ley lines are all out of whack. We better hurry back to Vimara Village and see what's going on. Hey, look at those hilly trails over there. Weren't they acting super agitated just a little while ago? Why are they so calm all of a sudden?
In the New World, they bade farewell to the shrouded sun. At last, they no longer needed to dwell on their suffering, or try to differentiate between various thoughts of blasphemy. Such was the price they paid, and thus their souls became cleansed and pure.
Did you hear that? What was that sound just now? It sounded so gentle. Could that voice be comforting the hilly trails in some way? Oh, this is weird. Let's check if this is happening anywhere else. Looks like the same thing is happening over here too. The hilly trails are calm.
You see, we're both still here. We've reclaimed an endless amount of time to love. Release your tears. You no longer need to hold back your sorrow.
Over there. It looks like they're sleeping.
In the end, he whispered softly, "Sleep well, Father. Sleep well, my beloved people. When you awake, that which differentiates us shall be no more."
It almost sounds like a poem or some kind of story. Well, now that the hilly trails have calmed down, Vimara Village should be safe at least. Let's put this situation to the side for now. Dane said this might be our chance to find the missing villager, so we should head back to Vimara Village before it's too late. Abyss Order seems to be up to something nearby.
The Abyss Order? This is the first I'm hearing of it. Thank you for your concern, but as far as I'm aware, it's been business as usual here in the village.
Well, that's good to hear. Oh, also, you didn't happen to come across any clues about the missing villager while we were gone, did you?
Someone's gone missing, you say? Who would that be?
Huh? You know, the young guy from Vimara Village. The one you've been looking for all this time. You posted a commission with the Sumeru Adventurers Guild. That's kind of the whole reason we're here, actually. Your missing persons commission.
Ah, I do apologize, you two. I hope I'm not worrying you too much. I'm sure it's just my age making me forgetful again. At least right now, I can't seem to recall whatever it is you're referring to. Perhaps you should try asking someone else.
But how is that? All right. Thanks for your help, Grandpa Amadia. Something's definitely not right. We just talked to Grandpa Amadia about the missing villager. There's no way he could have forgotten all about him just like that. What do you think, Traveler? Could everyone's memories of the missing villager have been erased again? You're right. We should narrow down the possibilities first. Let's go ask someone else then.
So much more interesting than field research.
Someone's gone missing? Who?
Just as expected. That guy you said a bunch of nice things about earlier? The one you always used to chat with. He's around 20 years old, and you said he was a kind, warm-hearted person?
Oh, I know who you're talking about.
Really? You remember?
There aren't many young people who've earned that kind of praise from me. If you're certain that's what I said, then there's only one person who fits the bill. No doubt about it. But why'd you say he's gone missing? Yeah, I just saw him leave the village. There was someone else with him.
Strange. Bayram seems to remember him. And apparently he just saw him? Do you think maybe it's not that there's something wrong with people's memories, but that we've somehow returned to a time before he went missing?
Just like what happened with Greater Lord Rukkhadevata, no one remembers him, because there's been a change in people's memories. If we really did travel back to a time before he disappeared, that could explain why the villagers said he hadn't gone missing. If this person only exists in people's memories, maybe we're in someone's memory right now. Time travel is extremely difficult to perform. The current situation probably has something to do with the disturbances in the ley lines. No, Baram still remembers him. He just forgot about the fact that this person went missing.
Right! Paimon totally forgot about the ley line disturbances. We're in someone else's memory. Just like how you entered your sibling's memory last time. That would also explain why we seem to be at a time before he went missing. It's a memory after all. Right. If he's someone who only exists in people's memories, then we're finally on the same turf. But didn't Bayron just say that he saw him leave the village with someone? Where should we go look for him? Who knows how long this ley line disturbance is gonna last? We might not have that much time, and we don't even know whose memory this is. Good idea! That'll help us narrow things down. We pretty much figured out that the missing villager has the ability to... Right! That! Could we try to figure out more about him using what we know of his ability? Like, does it maybe leave a trace that would somehow give him away?
All the memories seem to be set in or near Vimara village. But I'm still not sure if they're restricted to this location. If time was allowed to pass within the false memories, there's a higher chance they might conflict with someone's original recollection. That would make it much harder to avoid suspicion. There's a difference between memories that arise from lived experiences and those that are implanted into the mind. Maybe not. We don't have any way to prove whether certain memories were simply forgotten or never existed in the first place.
No wonder! All this time and the sky hasn't changed a bit! That must mean time isn't passing! That's the tell of the fake memories! The implanted memories are basically taking place outside of the regular 24 hours of the day. If the memories included the regular passage of time, it would be easy for people to tell that something was off. Like there could be overlap or something. People might start to wonder why they remember doing two different things at the same time of day. That's why he makes sure the memories take place at a specific moment in time rather than over a period of time.
The color of the sky coincides with the moment in time she described. Dainsleif had memories implanted into his mind. Could it be that it's happened more than once? We thought Chief Amadea forgot about the missing villager, but it turns out we're at a moment in time before the village issued the commission.
Oh, right! That's exactly what Atosa described!
Oh, come to think of it, every time we talked, it always seemed to be around dusk. Just like right now. Time always passed by really slowly. Even when it felt like we'd been talking for hours, the sun would still be at the same position in the sky.
Yep, that has to be it! This is definitely Atosa's memory. Yeah, that's where they'll be!
Light it up!
Hip.
So, you see, Granny Jahiet was a mercenary when she was younger. She just talks like that out of habit. She's not trying to scare the children on purpose. Oh, there I go again. Always talking about my own things. Do you maybe have anything you want to share? it's okay if you don't. You could also just talk about what you think of me?
Oh, I think you're an incredibly strong and thoughtful young woman. You'll meet many amazing people and live a very happy life. You won't miss someone like me.
Huh? Are those your friends over there?
Oh, right! This version of Atosa hasn't met us yet!
Friends? I guess you could say that. It must have taken them a lot of effort to find me. So, I should see what they need. I'm sorry, Atosa. We'll have to continue this conversation another time.
Another time, huh? Yeah, okay. I'll head back to the village then. Talk to you some other time.
It's nice to see you, Traveler. I believe this is the first time we've met.
The founder of the Abyss Order. The man who broke the curse of immortality. Dane's brother. One of the 5 sinners of Conria. The one who stole the power of the Abyss. Born into abject sorrow, he shall now become the Loom of Fate.
You're... Caribert Alberic.
Oh. You know me? That's quite the surprise. I don't believe I've met you before. Oh, I see. It was the memory, wasn't it? Your sibling's memory. You saw... the me from back then. This is Atosa's memory. I came here to say goodbye to her. But I suppose I'll just leave her a message instead. Come, let's find somewhere else to talk. I suppose you could call it the realm of my consciousness. I'm someone who no longer exists in the real world, after all. As you well... it's nothing. I still have enough strength to play the part of a good host. I've always hoped that I'd get the chance to talk to you like this, and now, the time has finally arrived. Extreme sorrow and pain. Hope and regret coursing through your veins. And a degree of abyssal power that defies comprehension. Father told me that once I possessed all those elements, I would become the loom of fate. But, despite his intentions for me, I never truly became the loom of fate. I was merely used as a means for its construction. In truth, I died the moment I set everything in motion. The person you see before you now is nothing but a remnant of consciousness left over within the loom of fate. As for your question, the loom of fate is a device capable of weaving ley lines. In its primitive form, it can only be used to create and implant memories. But, as more of it is completed, its power becomes stronger and stronger, until finally, it has the power to weave real ley lines of its own. Once fully completed, the moment it gains the power to weave ley lines, it loses the lower-level ability to influence memories. But it also becomes a tool that can change the entire world. Yes, I have the ability to control the loom in its semi-completed form. I suppose you can think of it as a form of compensation. After all, its existence cost me my life. Ah, that. I was wrong to implant those memories. I'm sorry I caused so much trouble. Not only for everyone in the village, but for you as well. I just wanted them to feel like I once existed in this world. As if I had a chance at life. I know what you must be thinking. Why would I do something so meaningless? But I just couldn't accept it. I had to know what it would be like if I had my own life. What kind of person I would be. What other people would think of me. Chief Ahmadiyya, Baram, Granny Jahiyat, Atosa. What would it be like if I could live alongside them? No cataclysm, no curse. Just a quiet life in a peaceful village. I was curious, so I selfishly tried to have my own life. Even if that meant piecing together the version of myself that could have been. One memory at a time. I know it sounds stupid. After all, my life ended a long time ago. Any chance at living was stripped away from me when I was 8 years old. My consciousness left to mature in an illusory world of nothingness. Even the form you see before you was Nothing but an invention based on my father's appearance. An imagined version of what I would look like if I had the chance to grow up. I know. But there's nothing I can do to make them find me. If I could exist in the real world, I would return without a second thought and surprise them with the suddenness of it all. But, well, that's not possible for me. I know. Captain Dainsleif. Twilight's sword, you mean? No need to meet up with him. Things should already be settled on his end. Exactly. As someone who could only exist in people's memories, the fact that I'm able to talk to you in my consciousness like this can only mean one thing. The Loom of Fate has already been completed. No need to worry about Captain Dainsleif. He's absolutely fine. The only reason he lost the eye was because I happened to guess exactly what he was planning. Captain Dainsleif has had the eye inside his body this whole time, hasn't he? His plan was to lure the Abyss Order to a false location, capitalizing on their pursuit of the eye in order to have the chance to confront the prince. He would then hand the eye to you and tell you to take it away from that location. That way, Captain Dainsleif could accomplish his own goal and ensure the safety of the eye all at once. A very thorough plan. That's right, because in his mind, he had given it to you already. Before you two entered that false location.
Traveler, wait. We've no time to lose. Let's head inside.
That was when I implanted the memory of him handing you the eye. Given the tense situation at that time, Captain Dainsleif failed to notice anything out of the ordinary, and took that memory to be real. I'm sorry, Traveler, but I needed the Loom of Fate to be completed. And to do that, we had to retrieve the eye. I promise I'm not trying to conceal anything from you, but I truly have no idea what the prince is planning. Tevat's ley line system is deeply entrenched in the planet. Creating new ley lines can neither replace nor extend the ones that already exist. In the face of everything they could be planning, I fear I'm too insignificant to even get a glimpse of the bigger picture. In any case, I had my own use for the Loom of Fate, and my goal, at least, has been achieved. You remember my father, don't you? Clotar Alberic. I believe you saw him in your sibling's memory. After he used the power of the Abyss to restore consciousness to my hilichurl form, I suffered from an indescribable level of mental anguish. To comfort me, my father told me a story, that this was a fairy tale world where I had to take on the form of a little monster. That story managed to dispel my fears, even if just for a moment. My goal was simple. To use the Loom of Fate in its near-completed form, when its ability to create memories was at its strongest, to implant a specific memory into the minds of the Hillagers. In that memory, I would tell them a story, just like my father did for me. It was a story of fairy tales and love. But more than anything, it was the story of us. I can't change the world. Not when I lost the very right to exist within it. Implanting those memories, that was the most worthwhile thing I could offer. All that's left of my existence is a wisp of residual consciousness tied to the Loom of Fate. In truth, that trace of my consciousness should have dissipated long ago. My goal was the one thing that allowed me to hold on all this time. But now, the bedtime story is finished. And it's finally time to rest.
Looks like I was too late to see Kari Bear one last time. Kari Bear's consciousness is gone, and this space will soon disappear along with it. Neither of us belongs here. That's why we're not tangible. Were that not the case, I'd love to hug you too. Well, how about a conversation? The chance to just stop and talk like this is certainly not easy to come by. Wouldn't you agree? That battle earlier was tough. The one against Dane, I mean. I didn't expect that after everything, he would still hesitate to raise his sword against me. Were it not for that, perhaps I'd still be no match for the Twilight Sword. Even after 500 years. The Loom of Fate, huh? I still haven't found a way to utilize it to its full potential. But there's still time. Before the heavenly principles awaken. Yes, for 500 years now, ever since the cataclysm in Conria, there's been no sign of activity. Not long ago, you witnessed the Hydro Archon destroy her divine throne, yes? Such a flagrant disregard for the rules, and still Celestia took no action. I suppose that's proof enough of the Heavenly Principles situation. However, the Heavenly Principles will awaken. We just don't know when that will be, or what might trigger it. You could say that. Just look at Kari Bear. He was so pure and single-minded. The space we now find ourselves is a perfect representation of who he was. Quiet and peaceful. Even as a hilly churl, seeing the terrible sight within the mirror wasn't enough to taint his spirit. He brought comfort to the people of this world, even though he was denied the very right to be a part of it. So ask yourself this. Who was it that deprived him of that right to exist? Of course, that's only one example. My feelings about the heavenly principles are too complicated to explain in just a few words. Lumine?
You're the only one in this world who calls me that. There's so much I wanted to ask you. But for some reason, I'm not interested in asking those questions right now. There's just one thing I have to ask. One thing I could never understand. Why? Why can't we continue our journey together?
At the end of my journey, I arrived at a place known as the Sea of Flowers at the end. Do you remember? A long time ago, when we traveled between worlds together. You told me. You wanted to find a place in the universe where that one flower was in full bloom. To have a place like that suddenly appear before me? Well, would you think of that as a coincidence?
You mean?
I miss you too, Lumine. But as this war continues to rage, and as I continue to seek that final answer, I don't even know how to face myself sometimes. Let alone my own sister.
What's going on?
This space has lost its tether. I doubt it'll be able to exist much longer. In fact, aside from our ability to physically interact with each other, there's something else you should know about this space. With Kari Bear gone, we won't be able to remember anything that happened here. Everything in this space will be wiped from existence, including all memory of our reunion.
You're only telling me this now?
Still so sleepy. Paimon's head feels all fuzzy. Oh, Paimon woke up a little earlier than you, so Paimon will fill you in. The villagers said that they saw us sleeping near the village yesterday. They couldn't wake us up no matter how hard they tried, so they decided to just bring us back here. Oh, and Dane came by just now. It looked like he was injured. He didn't say anything, though. Just made sure that you were all right and left. Kinda seemed like he had a lot on his mind, but that's Dane for ya. Let's think for a second. We were in that memory, and we saw that guy you called Kari Bear. He was the missing villager that we've been trying to find, right? And after that, Paimon doesn't remember what happened. Wait, really? What a score!
Ah, there you are. Sleep well?
Bayram, you sure seem happy. Did something good happen?
Something good? Huh. Wasn't anything good or bad, I'd say. It's just that, well, the village organized another search party yesterday. It didn't feel right to leave all the searching to the adventurers. So there we were, searching away, when suddenly this one guy said it all came back to him. According to him, one day around dusk he was passing by this one tree outside the village, and he saw our missing villager. There he was, sleeping under that tree all by himself. His parents came a little later to wake him up, and they all left together. It looked like quite a happy family, apparently. And after that, well, we all started to feel like that really is what happened. Kind of strange that we forgot all about it for so long. Oh, and we also remembered his name, Curry Bear. Now, that's not a name you hear every day. Would have been helpful if we remembered it sooner. Well, I hope he's happy wherever he is, and we're all relieved now that we know what happened.
Seems like everyone thinks Curry Bear left the village. That's probably for the best. At least they have some sort of explanation now. Paimon wonders how Atosa's doing. Maybe we should go check on her. If she hasn't remembered like everyone else, we can tell her what happened. Paimon didn't see her in the village just now, so she's probably at the tree. Come on, let's go talk to her.
Oh, it's you two. I was just about to go looking for you. I wanted to thank you. I was part of the search party, so I remember what happened to Curry Bear now. Honestly, I just can't believe I forgot something so important. It's funny, but I have this feeling he told me the same thing. I just can't seem to remember when. I guess it doesn't really matter anyway. Life is made up of a series of memories. As long as I hold on to our time together, he'll always be a part of my life. I'm just happy I got to meet him. So, who cares what happens in the future, right? Okay, I'll admit, I'm just putting on a brave face. I was dumped, wasn't I? Otherwise, why would he just leave like that without saying goodbye? You don't need to comfort me. I'll be okay. It's just like Curry Bear said. It's the things we overcome that make life more precious. And you know, if he has a heart, maybe he'll come back and see me one day. Anyway, thanks for all your hard work, you two. I promised I'd help Granny Jahiet with something, so I should head back. Goodbye.
Well, that should be it, right? Everyone's lives can go back to normal now. Oh, right! Weren't you about to tell Paimon what happened after your conversation with Curry Bear? A picture? Where'd that come from? Let Paimon Calamansi!
We should, take a break after all that running around.
Ad Astra Abyssosk. Thank you for completing today's commissions.
Let's sit down here and have some coffee and sweets. It'll help me put my thoughts together. No. We're here to rest. My problems will have to wait for now.
Oh, hey, Layla.
Huh?
I'm one of Layla's classmates. I just came by to say hi. We just submitted our theses and we're totally beat. Everyone will be meeting here to celebrate. Seeing how relaxed you look, you must have already had your thesis finished ages ago.
Oh, no, I'm actually having a lot of trouble with it.
You say that every time we talk, but you've never missed a deadline. Not only that, your papers are always well written and thorough. Your advisor is constantly praising your work. Yet you're always going around saying stuff like, I can't make it, I don't understand, I'm super worried. That kind of talk doesn't reflect your work at all, you know.
Well,
For starters, she doesn't even try to participate with the group at all. It's one thing that she's not willing to help us, but she doesn't even bother showing up for our discussion meetings. Every time we come to see her, she looks out of sorts and on the verge of a breakdown. It's not like we can't finish our own theses without her, but no one wants to always see her this way.
I know. Sorry.
Whatever, there's no point in starting an argument here. If you think she can justify her behavior, then that's your opinion.
Thanks for standing up for me. I really want to help the others, but most of the time I'm barely scraping by myself. There's very little I can help with. Yeah, I can't ever tell my classmates about that. I'd be a mess if they ever reported it to my advisor. It's really just a big misunderstanding, and there's nothing I can do about it. Everyone just gives me weird looks and judges me. It's making it really difficult to find friends. It's actually pretty rare for someone to actively engage in a conversation with me, like you do. Huh? What do you mean? Yeah, that's exactly it. Seems you know just as well as I do. The thing is, I'm terrible under pressure. That's just my nature. Even the thought of everyone's expectations back home is enough to make me feel nervous. And the more nervous I get, the worse things become around me. Take what Munira just said, for example. I don't think I'll be able to get it out of my mind for the entire day. That means I won't be able to relax at all today. Face it head on? What should I do? Do you really think I can? Okay. I've got a pen and paper with me. Let me go through them real quick. The theory sections are pretty much finished. I'll be able to finish organizing the rest on my own. As of now, I'm missing crucial observation data. I need the results of an observation to validate the conclusion of my thesis. And then there's the preparation for my thesis defense. I'll need to mentally prepare. What? You want to help me with my thesis? Thank you. Thank you so much. I don't even know how to show you my gratitude. You're so kind. I had no idea I'd meet someone so nice in Sumeru City. Okay, I'll do my best. It's the least I can do, considering everything you've already done for me. First on the list is the experiment to get observational data. I actually had it all planned out several days ago and even borrowed a celestial globe from a Mahamata. However, the weather was rainy every single day after I borrowed it, and I was unable to compare the night sky against the celestial globe. There were a lot of people waiting to borrow the celestial globe, and I wasn't able to extend my time slot, so I returned it and haven't been able to borrow it again since. That's why I still haven't performed the necessary observations yet. I don't know what to do. That's right. The celestial globe is a high-precision device used specifically for researching the stars. Submitting an application to borrow one from the academia is pretty much the only way for me to get my hands on one. Huh? Why the Adventurers Guild? Oh, I see. The Adventurers Guild is open to everyone's commission, so she might have some ideas. Okay, let's go and try our luck.
Bring it!
Ad Astra Abyssosque. Welcome to the Adventurers Guild. How can I help you today?
I'd like to... I have a commission... it's kinda strange. How should I put this? Right. equipment at the academia is in very high demand, and we aren't able to borrow one now. We were hoping someone else might have something similar that we could use.
I don't know anything about astrology, so I'm afraid I'm unfamiliar with the device you were looking for. However, one of our requesters happens to be an astrology enthusiast. I hear that he's a collector of all sorts of specialized astrology equipment. After the Adventurers Guild helped him out, he indicated that he'd be happy to return the favor if the adventurers ever need it. Perhaps we could arrange a meeting between you two. That should help solve your problem.
Really?
You're welcome. It's my job to provide adventurers with the necessary support. The man's name is Azam. Here's his address. You can go ahead and pay him a visit.
Bring it!
Hello, are you Azam?
Yes, I am. How may I help you? Ah, I see. Well, if it's a request from an adventurer, then I'll be happy to help you. I just so happen to have the device that you're looking for. Let me fetch it and show you, just to be sure.
Yes, this is it. Thank you so much. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. I just got a little excited. Please go ahead.
To be honest, judging by what stands before me, I find it very hard to believe that you're an astute Ratawahist student.
Well...
Astrology is a hobby of mine, and these devices have cost me both time and mora to collect. I cherish them as if they were members of my own family. Which is why I don't let just anyone borrow them on a whim. These devices are delicate and can easily be damaged if used inappropriately.
Oh, that's completely understandable. What can I do to better gain your trust?
How about this? I don't need a deposit or anything, but I'd like you to share the contents of your research with me. I'll ask you some questions. If your explanation proves satisfactory, then I'll lend you the device.
Share the contents of my research and answer questions? Alright, I'll try. But I can't disclose the actual details to you. How about a general overview of the research? Would that suffice?
Yes, that would be fine.
You're probably aware that astrologists rely on the movements of celestial bodies to calculate the past and the future, as well as attempt to summarize the correlating principles, correct?
Of course. This is the basic principle of astrology.
My current research is about a certain phenomenon called astral shift.
Interesting. That's not a topic any ordinary person would be familiar with. I have a basic understanding of the concept, but I'd like to hear you explain it.
Okay. Well, in short, it means that the results derived from astrology are prone to change. As time continues to flow, the stars change and everything else becomes affected by this change. However, what's actually driving the change is what's worth investigating.
I think that it might just be another law of nature.
If the changes follow a certain pattern or routine, then it could be explained as some law. But the changes are manifold, even when considering just a single star. The changes could be resulting from a simple single orbit shift, or it could be a more complex double orbit, or even a triple or quadruple orbit shift. These phenomena have a dramatic effect on astrological conclusions. What I'm working on now is the research and prediction of the triple orbit shift phenomenon.
Triple orbit? By yourself?
Yes. That's right.
You do know that adding an extra star to the equation increases the computational workload by more than tenfold, right?
It does get a little complicated, but it's still manageable with the use of a few self-invented techniques and a large number of star logs and star charts. Which leads us to why I'm in need of a high-precision celestial globe.
Amazing. I suppose I should never have judged a book by its cover. I thought you were just trying to half-heartedly deal with some school assignment.
Do I really look like that sort of person?
Don't worry. I'm just joking. I was a little cautious at first, but now I trust you completely. It would make me extremely happy if my collection could assist a researcher in achieving tangible results. Just make sure you return it to me once you're done.
Oh, thank you so much. I really needed this. Good thing Azam was willing to hear me out. Really? I was just explaining what it is I'm trying to do. Really? I don't know if you really mean it, but I'm happy to hear that. I guess even the hardest problems can be solved as long as I'm willing to try. Recording and comparing data will be much easier now that we have this device. I can do it all on my own, too. Let's continue with the plan. Can you help me with the rehearsal of my thesis defense? We can do that at the House of Dina.
You're quite welcome. It makes me happy to see my equipment being used to its potential.
This seems like the best spot to do this. We'll need to be quiet so we don't disturb anyone. So here's what will happen during my thesis defense. After I present my thesis, the advisor sitting below will begin to ask questions. Theoretically, I should be able to answer any questions related to my thesis. However, I tend to get really nervous when my advisors look at me, and I end up completely forgetting what I plan to say. That's why I want to rehearse and practice presenting my points in front of someone. That's right. You should have gotten the gist of the content of my thesis when I was explaining it earlier, so ask away. It's okay if your questions are a little off. I'll still treat them as real questions from an advisor and answer seriously. Wait a moment! Alright, Layla, you got this. You were able to explain everything earlier, so you can do it again. Alright, ask away. Sure. The direction of this research is based on the results of previous research. It's about the feasibility of applying my methodologies to the remaining triple orbit problems. Based on a sample size of 124 cases, we could only achieve approximately 60% accuracy. The results were not reliable enough to be implemented as a law. You can see the common traits of the erroneous samples on page 3. Excuse me, I mean from the star logs in the appendix. It's clear that in each of the erroneous samples, one of the stars underwent a significant shift. This means that we not only need to limit the number of stars, but we may also need to consider the degree of shift when applying triple orbit shift algorithms. Stars with greater shifts are often key in astrology readings. The next step of the research should be... the next step should be to identify the feasible thresholds of shift for applying our calculations. And that's my answer to your question. Do you have any other questions? We're finally done. I'm gonna need more practice. I can feel myself getting flustered, and I start to stumble whenever I'm asked questions that I'm unfamiliar with. Oh, really? You mean it? Then this practice must be helping. I stood like a statue on the stage and my palms were covered in sweat. I couldn't get a single word out. I didn't even realize it, but you're right. It doesn't seem like there's anything holding me back now. I guess that means I'm capable of completing the thesis all on my own. I can hardly believe it. This is amazing. Oh, I'm sorry. It's just that I'm really excited. This is the first time this has happened, really. I'm so happy. I'm not sure how to put this. I'm really happy about everything that's happened, but I'm also feeling a little sad. I still don't know anything about the blessing from the stars. Will it never happen again since I don't need its help anymore? That somehow makes me feel a little lonely. Yeah, it almost makes the blessing feel like it was just a tool used for my studies, no? But I would really like to discover what the blessing actually is, if I ever get the chance. I want to express my gratitude for it, or better yet, maybe we could be friends. That's basically how I feel about it. Even if I know nothing about the blessing, I could still feel its companionship all along. It's almost like how you helped me. I really cherish and appreciate it. After all, it wouldn't be right to take such blessings for granted in our lives. That's good. I hope it's a little more satisfied with the way I am now. This seems like the best spot to do this. We'll need to be quiet so we don't disturb anyone. Huh? No. What is that? Is this something that I didn't prepare for at all? You've gotta be joking. About this question, I'm sorry. I'm not feeling very well. Everything is spinning. I'm sorry. I haven't been sleeping very well lately. I tend to get dizzy from time to time, but don't worry, I'm fine now. What's wrong? Oh, sorry. Can you please repeat the question? I didn't hear you clearly just now. Alright. I guess the cat's out of the bag. Of all the times to wake up. You're Layla's friend, right? And from the looks of things, the two of you are preparing for her thesis defense? With her long-term sleep deprivation, whenever her anxiety peaks, she loses consciousness and I take over. However, her unpredictable and varying sleep patterns are completely out of my control, so I have to make every second count. There's no one willing to help her here, so I have to step in. I am rather curious about you, though. Why are you trying to help her? Really? That's great. You're helping with all the things that I used to do for her. Seems like you've given her a boost of confidence with your encouragement. Now then, I can't really help her prepare for the thesis defense, so I'll be leaving some notes behind instead. You'll have to give them to her later. Okay, I should get started on those notes. If there's anything you're curious about, you may go ahead and ask now. I can answer you as I write. I'm used to multitasking. Oh, and I have to ask a favor. When you give the notes to her later, please don't tell her about my existence. Well, she's always been in a fragile state. If she knew that there was another Leyla who's always taking care of everything, she might feel like everything she's ever worked for is pointless, and that could lead to some demoralizing thoughts. She's a resilient girl, but no matter how resilient she may be, no one can hold up to criticism and torment from themselves. If her condition grows any worse, it's possible that I might cease to exist as well. Then there wouldn't be anyone to help her. She's getting better though, isn't she? It's apparent how hard she's working now. She's my source of knowledge. I'm merely the representation of how she would be if she were rested and healthy. I believe that she's one of the best, even in a place like the academia where geniuses come by the handful. But growth is a process and shouldn't be rushed. I will always believe in and support her. Believe me, even if she were to end up at rock bottom, she'd find a way to somehow laugh it off as one of her silly mistakes. and climb her way out. That's the kind of person she is. Alright, I've written down all the possible questions that I think the advisors might ask. Next, I'll put together a few words of encouragement for her. I'm not going to sign it, obviously. Oh, and don't forget about our agreement.
Bring it!
Let's sit down here and have some coffee and sweets. It'll help me put my thoughts together. Completely relaxed? But we're at a cafe. Is this not relaxing enough? I know, but... Alright, no more buts. My life is a mess because of the decisions I've made for myself. I should listen to your advice this time. How do I completely relax? Sightseeing. That does sound pretty nice. I haven't set foot outside the academia in quite a while. I used to enjoy visiting the rainforest, but it's been a while since I've been there. Maybe a lot has changed. Okay, why don't we go there and take a look? Even the air here feels more relaxing. I just want to forget about the thesis altogether. I'm just kidding. Knowing me, I'd only be able to forget about it for a little while. This doesn't count as trying to avoid my problems, does it? That's quite the legitimate excuse. No, it's more of an explanation. Even I'm starting to get bolder with my words. I grew up in a place like this, looking into the distance now with the breeze in my face makes me feel like a kid again. Oh, those were the happiest days. I had a bunch of friends back then, and we would go pick wild berries in the woods. No matter what ingredients we found, we would cook them over a fire, and whoever lost one of our games would have to eat all of it. No, it wasn't that bad. It really depended on how lucky you were. Grilled apples and poinsettias are actually quite delicious. Sure. I haven't done that in ages. Let's go. Apples and zaytun peaches were the most popular fruits back then. Oh, and of course grilled fish is delicious too. Oh, fish skin releases oils while cooking, which drip into the fire and cause it to burn even brighter. But we would always get yelled at by the grown-ups if they caught us sneaking into the river to catch fish. What's the big deal? We just want to swim. That's what we used to say. But now that I think about it, it really was quite dangerous. Thank goodness nothing bad ever happened. I think we found enough now, don't you? Alright, these should be enough. There's nothing like the smell of fresh ingredients. They already smell delicious. I'll be here cleaning the ingredients. Can you please fetch some firewood for us?
Rise with the sun!
Show no mercy!
Fresh food is the best. I feel like I've traveled back in time. We all used to run around in the woods when we were kids. Trees and mud was the world we knew best. It doesn't matter how long I'm away from the forest, I won't ever forget the feeling of running through the trees. Oh, how about you? Can you relate to that feeling? It's almost like not knowing the world will change or ever expecting it to change. Whatever the case, it's a very warm feeling. In the end, I passed the admissions exam, and the life I had led came to an abrupt end. Later, as I sat in a lecture at the academia, my mind started to wander and I began to think about home. It was then that I realized how long it had been since I went back. I can't go back anymore, and other similar thoughts started to come to mind. I guess I'm still not used to being in the academia yet. You're right. So we should let go of the past. I suppose this is also part of growing up. But reminiscing about the carefree life of being a kid sure works wonders for the mind. You start missing those moments once you leave them behind, and that's part of moving forward. From now on, I'd like to cherish every single day of my life, even when it's not the smoothest of rides. I'll take the compliment. A little bit of sugar and a good view really go a long way for relaxation. I thought it'd be impossible for me to enjoy something like this. I thought I'd never be able to get my mind off my thesis. But now, I feel like I'm fully enjoying myself. It's really great. So, what are we doing next? You're right. I've been doing research for so long that I'm used to having a certain routine. A carefree stroll. I like the sound of that.
Light it up!
Wow. I never knew there was such a large lake here. It's so beautiful. The feeling of cool lake water can wash away all your troubles. Can you wait for a minute? I'd like to wash my face. I think it'd be refreshing. A swim? I can't remember the last time I went swimming. I might not even know how to anymore. Okay. I'll try to swim over there. Wait, no. I'll definitely lose. No. Forget about winning or losing, Layla. It'll be fun either way. Wait, we're starting already? As expected, I lost. How would I be able to beat an adventure at something like this? Really? Among my childhood friends, I was considered one of the more athletic ones. But that's just like how I used to think that I had a gift for learning. After coming to Sumeru City, I realized that I only thought that because my hometown is such a small place. On top of that, I'm getting weaker and weaker because I'm barely able to sleep nowadays. There's no way I can bring myself to brag about anything now. Please, you're always encouraging me. I'm starting to feel embarrassed. But swimming again really feels great. Every muscle in my body was engaged. I probably wouldn't have to worry about my thesis if I turned into a fish, don't you think? I'm just kidding, of course. I'm sure fish have worries of their own. I'm quite content with how things are right now. Let's keep going, shall we? There's a mushroom here. You want to jump on it to see what's up there? I haven't done this in a while. I kinda want to give it a try. We've walked pretty far now, but I barely felt the time passing by. I've been staring at books in my thesis every day. I've forgotten how nice and happy life actually can be. You're right. No matter how much of a hard time I'm having in academics, I should still find the time to look after myself and fulfill my needs. You really understand more about life than I do. Release my stress? Oh, I see what you mean. Being at the top of a mountain really does make someone want to yell out loud. But it's a little uncivilized, isn't it? Alright, I'll give it a try. Just promise not to laugh, okay? What an amazing day! It feels like my entire body is bubbling with excitement after yelling like that. This happiness was so common as a child, but before I knew it, this feeling was buried in the bottom of my heart. It's getting late. Why don't we rest here for a while? I'll tell you some interesting astrology stuff when the stars come out. Oh, but it's alright if you don't want to listen to that kind of stuff. We can also tell jokes about life, or talk about anything you're interested in. Okay, then I'll tell you more about me. The only reason I ever chose to study astrology is because of how beautiful the stars are at night. That's all. My teacher told me that nature possesses a certain power that grants people an equal amount of kindness and fairness, regardless of the different talents they may possess. And that's why I wanted to call the kind person who's always helping me as the blessing from the stars. The stars in the sky are something that brings happiness to people. Everything about home is filled with purity and passion. My memories of that place are wonderful. I never want to forget them. If I were to ever discard anything so pure, I don't think I'd ever be able to find a place to anchor myself in the vast sea of knowledge. That's why, no matter how tiring or how hard it gets, I won't let my family down. They are already an important part of me. Yeah, thank goodness you were there to help me out, or I don't know where I would have ended up. We probably still have a while until the stars come out. Only kids sit around like this, waiting for the stars to appear.
I've read almost every novel from Yai Publishing House. Pretty normal, right?
This world will be reduced to ashes.
Letting brave names echo! Pyroclastic surge!
A prelude to Natlan's future!
Rise with the sun! Get to work! Light of the blazing sun!
This world shall perish, and its ashes will fall like rain!
Hear the echoes of the valley! I'm going in!
Before the final blade! The embers burn!
Letting brave names echo! Try and stop me! Incinerate! Hear the echoes of the valley! The flames have gone out.
You record the past and forge the future, but you fail to conquer the present!
Wish you
This opportunity is quite hard to come by. Well then, amuse me. Surrender is a valid option. I promise I'll be gentle.
Incinerate!
You've made some progress. Not bad. You've got a trick or two.
Burn it down! Get to work!
Bring it!
Rev the engines! Rise with the...
Show no mercy!
Burn it down! Rev from the sky!
So you went. You lose.
You might want to get a guide if you're not...